to Wilderness Wanderers, the channel dedicated to everybody who loves hiking and the great outdoors.
We are at the Heaps Peak Arboretum in the San Bernardino National Forest.
We're going to take the Sequoia Trail. It's about 0.8 of a mile and it's very easy.
Here we go.
Heaps Peak Arboretum was not always a haven for trees, flowers and wildlife, and but for the efforts of this gentleman, it may never have even been here. But it did take a village. Let's look at the history. In the late 1800s, Fred Heaps owned a ranch on this location. When he died, his nephew built a lumber harvesting operation, an ironic use of land that would ultimately become an arboretum. In 1922, a huge fire devastated the area and only blackened trees remained. 6 years later, the Lake Arrowhead Women's Club, headed by Mary Putnam Henk, organized the first planting of new trees. Club members and students from Lake Arrowhead Elementary School assisted in the project. In 1931, the site was officially named the Heaps Peak Reforestation Project. All of the planting stopped, though, with the onset of World War II. There was another fire in 1956, and sadly the land became an illegal dumping ground, and it would remain in that sorry state until the early 1980s. Finally, in 1982, George Hessman created the Rim of the World Interpretive Association, and members of the determined group cleaned up this site, created the nature trail, and planted 175 new trees. Heaps Peak Arboretum was dedicated and opened to the public on June 30th, 1984.
This forest is my home, I know that I can't change. Stay where you are, I can keep you safe and warm in the end.
Here's number one. What are we looking at, Kevin? Number one.
This tree, which isn't native to the San Bernardino Mountains, was introduced here by volunteers many years ago. It's called the Arizona cypress. These trees are closed cone, which prevent the seeds from escaping until a fire comes along. The heat melts the resin on the cones, and the wind spreads the seeds over a large area.
Countless times I've tried to block out all the noise. The sound is beautiful, becomes hard to ignore.
Kev's reading all of the
I will read it to you.
Kev's reading all of the information on the trees.
The Lonesome Highway, number 5, right here.
Oh, number 5, right where?
Take a moment and listen around. This part of the trail runs close to Highway 18. Rim of the World Highway was originally a toll road called Clark's Grade. It was incredibly steep, and tourists would be transported up in shuttles called white stages. This highway was officially opened on July 18th, 1915.
In his keynote speech, John S. McGroherty told the assembled group, "Let us dedicate it to weary souls that they may unload their burdens, and to tired hearts that they forget their cares. Let us dedicate it to California that she may beacon her welcome to the skies, to every land and to every people." Quite the poetic speech for a road opening. Well, he was the state's poet laureate.
Black oak leaves change color and drop to the ground in the fall. The term for this type of tree is deciduous. Native Americans considered the acorns of this important tree to be the tastiest. This area was the site of a small lumber mill and a bunch of small cabins for the lumberjacks that lived here. We spent some time looking for any evidence of the buildings until reading that they had all burned or been cleared away during the restoration.
All this dirt and earth is getting in the way.
The different colored blotches on these rocks are lichen. Lichen are made up of two other organisms, fungi and algae, which live together in a symbiotic relationship.
A great place for kids to come and learn about what's in nature and what's in the forest around them. And it's right on the highway.
14.
This is a fantastic beginner's hike. There's really no elevation gain or drop, and lots of interesting things to see. Plenty of parking. There's a ranger here, so you're not alone, and it's not in the wilderness. So this is a great place to start if you are starting hiking or you're getting back into hiking.
Come walk with me down the only road we know. Come talk with me, stay and watch the day grow. I've been waiting for the moment to arrive. Come stand with me down under the stars at night.
Here we came upon a grove of quaking aspen. Their leaves quake as the breeze blows. Young quaking aspen provide food for birds, small mammals, and even bears. They were also a food source for the Serrano people.
I was waiting for the moment to arrive. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Stop everything in your arms, in your honor. And the time it takes is eternally, but it's time we thought about it. And you feel the push inside.
There's a little spur over here to the Horseshoe Springs. I'm going to go take a look. Kev says it's probably dry, which it probably is. But still, you want to see where it goes, don't you? You guys want to see where this goes, right? Okay, it goes to this. And Kevin's absolutely right. There's nothing up here. Although it appears there's nothing here, this is actually a natural seep where water from underground aquifers breaks through the bedrock and pools at the soil's surface. It's a vital water and feeding source for local wildlife. Both mule deer and black bears have been spotted here.
These majestic giant sequoia were planted in the 1930s and have escaped many fires. This is the largest grove of sequoias in the San Bernardino National Forest. If they stay healthy, they could live to be over 3,000 years old.
I was waiting for the moment to arrive. Waiting for the moment to arrive. I was waiting for you. And I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Until next time, we'll see you on the trail.